Do you believe this is the last show? Time, I keep telling us that I believe the universe is rotating faster. It is revolving so much faster. Thank you for tuning in this evening. My name is Shirley T. Burke, and I run a business called L.C.S.W Institute. I work with and teach you on how to feel better in your business suit as well as your birthday suit. It is all about self-esteem, self-love, and caring about you, and also it's about changing that gap between thought and action. We're always getting ready to get ready. So we try to deal with that gap when we're, instead of just thinking about it, to put it in action. And I tell you that because we got something, since this is the last show, we want to emphasize our Shift and Soar program, a life-shifting session that we're having at the Westin on the 18th of October, and that will be from 6 to 9. And we really would like to have you consider coming because we only have 15 slots, and believe it or not, the slots are filling up. I got another 2 people today signed up, and we are over half full. So if you're interested in participating in this, it's life-changing. It is life-changing. And you master how to release resistance, shift your thoughts, and activate your follow-through button. It makes a difference. It makes a difference. And one of our sponsors at this particular program is Silver Diner. You all, if you haven't eaten there, you have got to go there to eat. That is, salads, the breakfast is all day. It is a wonderful place to go to eat. And the service is, they wow you with their service. I promise you. And you know I keep it real, so you know I'm telling you the truth. The diner is run by Mr. Roberto, and I'm not going to try to pronounce his last name, but you will find him there working as well as his staff. And here's what I think another reason that we should patronize him. This location has given like $350,000 to the community in services and doing things for kids and stuff like this. It's just worth, somebody that does this, we need to support the local business. And the Silver Diner is doing good work. But I wanted to just make mention of that Shift and Show program at the Westin, October 18th. Go to my website, www.esteeminstitute.com, Esteem, E-S-T-E-M, institute.com. It's where you can find more information about it. And if you think you know someone, if you're not interested, if you know someone that might benefit from it, tell them. We have to support each other. Let me know what I can help you with. And tonight, we have different guests on tonight. We have a little different guests, and the first guest we have on is mother and daughter. And these young ladies, one young lady has been doing my hair for a while, but she moved away, so I got real upset about that, real upset. And I can tell the difference. I still like my current hairdresser, but I really like how this lady worked on me. But I want to introduce you to these 2 young ladies. They have some things they wanted to tell you about what they're about to do. I want you all to introduce yourselves, girls. You can talk to our people here.
I'm Marilyn Caesar.
And I'm Yannette Caesar.
Ladies, what y'all about to do?
We're about to launch our website.
And what is that website about?
Selling royalty quality hair.
I wonder why y'all selling that. Why are y'all doing hair, I wonder? Is that something you do?
Absolutely.
All right, tell us a little bit about that, Marilyn.
Okay, we actually, it's hard to find quality hair. You go on the website, you can Google it, there's many places that offer it, but we wanted to take the worry out of getting the quality hair from other providers. So our hair is natural, unprocessed, no chemicals, and it comes in 4 ounces per bundle.
See, there are people out there that know what you're talking about because that's a big deal. That's why you all are going into business, because it's a big deal. It's a convenience to a woman not to have as much trouble to deal with her hair, you think?
Absolutely.
And that's why you all are doing this.
Absolutely. For example, I go to the gym. I just started this new lifestyle of eating healthy and everything. And hair is the #1 concern. I have to go to the gym in the morning and go to work afterwards, and you only have a little bit of time there. Right.
That's a good point.
Definitely this is very convenient and easy for me to still maintain and look my best appearance throughout the day.
Yeah,
you know?
That's the ladies have a process at Victory Lady. I won't make mention of my place here, Victory Lady, where I see ladies pulling those little carry-ons filled with stuff they need to get ready to go to work. So convenience is important. Convenience is very important. Now, what made you all decide to do this aside from the convenience? Where had you been getting hair, and what type was it?
I've been getting hair from the regular beauty supply store, and let's go back a little bit. I've been doing hair for like 20-something years,
Yes,
20 plus years, and it's like, I've seen hair change. Like, the more we start using the hair, the more they change, and it's not for the better. It's like, I've been having problems where I'm using my flat iron or my curling iron, the hair is singeing. So I got tired of that, and that's when I decided that, you know, I was going to try something different. Okay. So I started dealing with different vendors, sampling different hair. We had our good and our bads, because there was some hair that we was buying that we was like, oh my gosh, I can't sell this to nobody. So we finally found, you know, a vendor that we can deal, me and him could work together and give the customers good quality hair. And plus, I've been traveling all over the place trying to, you know, please women and make them feel good and look good about themselves. So, you know.
Traveling. Tell us about New York.
Yes.
You did Broadway shows and stuff like that. You were the cosmetologist or the stylist on those shows and what have you. And then you traveled New York, and what else?
I've been to Ohio, North Carolina, South Carolina, Alabama. I've just been everywhere. And
you traveled there back and forth.
Yeah, because I kind of like put my foot in my mouth one time. I posted on my Facebook page, I will travel to you if it's worth my trip. So, you know, being that I said that, a lot of women like, okay, I got like 10 women that want to get their hair weaved. Are you willing to come? So I'll just depending on where it is, I'll jump in my car and I'll go, or I'll fly wherever I have to. So I feel like incorporating the hair with it, knowing that they don't, like, I'm taking the worries out of them having to get hair and, you know, worry about who's going to put it in and who's going to care for the hair. It's more than just putting hair in and making them look good. It's about the health of the hair underneath.
Yes, health of the hair underneath is critical.
Very critical.
It is critical. You were traveling from Ohio at one time, right?
Yes.
From Ohio.
Yes.
But now you're traveling from
North Carolina.
North Carolina.
Right.
And so if people check your Facebook page, they can tell, that's how they know.
That's how they know where I'm going and what city I'm going to be in.
Yes. That makes it makes a difference too.
Yes, it does.
You're not being here, but one of these days maybe you will do something real special about your traveling. You had shared something with me. I'm not going to mention what it was, but you being the traveling hairstylist.
Yeah.
It's unusual. It's unusual.
Yeah.
Today I met a lady. She is a traveling massage service, but that's not. People come into your home and do that stuff, but hairstylist is not somebody that travels all the time.
Oh, right.
And especially from state to state.
Yeah, it kind of started off as a joke.
Yeah, it's a joke, all right. If you ever get on the road coming from Ohio and coming from North Carolina, that is a big joke.
I really kind of like put my foot in my mouth,
joke.
but I love doing it because it's like people get excited. They kind of look on Facebook to see where I'm going to be, when I'm going to be there. And it's like when I put it up there, they're like, okay, I'm interested. I want to get mine done. What do I have to do? Where do I send my deposit? I'm ready, you know. So.
Yeah, it's been interesting watching that. It's been interesting watching that, and I have been in the shop. In fact, I haven't posted anything, but I wrote an article sitting there one day, being in the shop, because when you come here, you're in a shop where there are men. There's a barber shop and a beauty parlor.
Right.
So it's very interesting. It's very interesting to listen at people in that shop.
Yeah.
The men and at the women and at the male stylists with the women.
Yeah.
It is very interesting.
You know, and I deal with a lot of first ladies, and they tell me that when they come in, like sometimes they get their sermon from just listening to the barbers.
A lot of sermons up in there.
When I first came to Richmond, I started off in that shop, and they've always been open door to me that when I travel in, that's one of the places I can come in.
Yep, you have a certain space, and you basically use that same space every time you come.
Exactly.
So I take it that's your home.
Yeah,
right there
I feel like they do give me a little special treatment and leave that station open for me.
You know that you want to be at your place, yes. But when you say first ladies, you're talking about people, pastors' wives.
Pastors' wives. And you know, they said sometimes they come in and just from them singing little like worldly songs and stuff, they turn it around and use it to teach in church. So,
It's a very calming atmosphere in a sense, because you don't know a lot of the people there, so you're there, you shut up, you're not talking if you're not in the chair maybe, but you're listening, and there's a lot going on. I'm going to post I'm going to write it. I have written it, I just haven't posted it yet, but it was a really neat experience being in there. Let's give the viewing audience contact information to look you up, because I think what date will you have your website up?
Our website will actually launch November 1st. You can go to www.caesarsimpress.com, and that's www.caesarsimpress.com.
Okay.
Also, in the future of Caesar's Impress, we do plan to offer fashionable accessories, rhinestones very similar to what we're wearing today.
Yes.
And the third phase of Caesar's Impress will be a plus-size boutique.
Plus-size boutique. Hey, we like that. We like that. You use the term queens, right?
Absolutely.
All right.
To look and feel like royalty.
Yes. That's important. And, my thing is when people see that you're not a size 2, they got a different impression, but they can't keep up with us in the gym, can they?
No, not at all.
I've had that. I went to the gym with my slim friends, and they just like...
Yep. Yes, indeed. I do the same thing that Jennifer Hudson. I'm on the same program, but I'm not jumping up and down as much as she is and sliding across the floor. And so my progress is a little slower. So you have to, that's what my business is all about. You have to love yourself where you are.
Right.
And what other people think about you, it really ain't your business. And whoever looking and saying whatever, it's about them, not us.
Not us, absolutely.
You understand?
Yes.
Yeah, yes. Give that website again.
Okay. www.caesarsimpress.com, and that's CAESARS, Impress.
Okay, and if they want to find you on Facebook?
If they wanted to find me on Facebook, you can go to Marilyn Caesar. Well, search for Marilyn Caesar.
Okay.
Okay, and
what's yours?
And mine is Yannette Caesar on Facebook. And
Yannette, you need to spell that because that's unusual.
I know. It's Yonnette, and the last name is spelled Caesar, because a lot of people think Caesar is spelled CEA.
Yes, I think I might have put it wrong, but I got you out there.
Yeah, it's CAESAR.
I thought it didn't look right. It didn't look right. It did not look right, but we got the information out there.
Yes.
Ladies, anything else you want to share with the audience before you go?
Definitely, if you are interested in seeing any of the samples or the work that Caesar's Impress is, contributing to the world today, go to Yannette Caesar's Facebook page, and you can also get her off my page, and it's Marilyn Caesar, and that's on Facebook.com.
Yeah, y'all put it. I like that you do a lot of pictures and different.
Everywhere I travel, I take pictures and stuff, because only time I don't take any pictures is if I have a woman that she has like issues with her hair. Yeah. A lot of times they don't want people to see their before and after. But I usually ask my customers if they don't mind. But I haven't gotten anybody that has like alopecia from chemicals or anything like that's willing to let me put a before and after. But I have had women that had hair breakage that let me put a before and after. So I have that up on my page also, so you can see that I'm not just into just putting hair in the head. It's about the care and the health of the hair.
Yes, and that's critical to your clients.
Exactly.
They might not think so. They want to look pretty and good, but to do that, your hair needs to be healthy.
Yeah, because I've traveled a lot of places and I see a lot of stuff. Like, I'm like, in my mind, I'm like, okay, why are people paying all this money to have all this hair fall out in the sink?
Yeah.
And then a lot of stylists, they're not taking the time. I'm not trying to knock any other stylists, but they're not taking the time to master the craft like they did when I started, because I started doing hair in '88, and it's just about making the money right now, and we got to go back to taking care of the hair and making sure people feel comfortable with what we do, because if we don't do that, then everybody's going to start trying to do their hair at home, because it's like, why would I go pay X amount of dollars to have my hair fall out?
And that makes sense. You want your hair to be healthy under there with the other hair.
So eventually you can take your weave off and wear your own hair.
Looking just like the wig.
Exactly.
All right.
Fabulous.
Ladies, thank you all so much for coming.
Thanks
so much. We appreciate you coming.
Thank you for having us.
We appreciate you coming. And they can go to Marilyn Caesar's, type that in,
Yes.
and or Yvette Caesar.
Yes.
All right, ladies.
Thank you.
All right. We want to invite you to continue to hang in here because we're going to switch guests. And we have...
More than the clouds up in the heavens, more than the sands upon the shore, more than the colors of the rainbow or the poet's metaphor, more constant than the movement of the ocean's ebb and flow, more than you can fathom. You are loved more than you know.
Right. Now, I'm going to tell you, those of you that have been around me a while know that I believe that everything is in divine order. And there's nothing, there are no accidents, no coincidence, but it's just divine order. And when I say that, you know, I belong to a lot of organizations and meet a lot of people. And somebody wrote me the other week, and she said, Shirley, she told me about a program, and she said, would you be interested in having that on your show? And I'm one of those people, I'm afraid not to have it on the show based on what it's about, because I think we're in positions to do certain things, and we call to do, you do what you got to do. Because if you don't do what you call to do, it won't get done. And I don't want to be guilty of that. And with that said, I want to introduce this young lady that I just saw in person tonight, but we've talked on the phone, and I've heard about her program. Heather, tell the people who you are.
Well, thank you, and Shirley too. Thank you for inviting me on the program tonight.
Sure.
And my name is Heather Shaheen, and I am with a program called Celebrate Recovery at New Song Church in Mechanicsville, Virginia. And our program, the goal of our program is to be able to provide a safe place for individuals and families to come on a Friday night, and we meet every Friday night at 7 o'clock, and we come together to create this safe place for people to come and work through any pains that they've had in their lives, from past hurts, deal with life challenges that they're struggling with, and learn how to really go towards their goals that they've set and to live out the potential that God's created in them. And the wonderful blessing is that it's an opportunity for us all to just celebrate the work that God's doing in each of us, and it's an opportunity for the community to come together and celebrate that. We meet every Friday at 7 o'clock, and anyone in the community is invited to come. You don't have to be a member of New Song Church. It's open to everyone so that we can all work together. And we walk through the 12 steps that many are familiar with an AA, but also combine that with Scripture and the Beatitudes. And through that, we're able to find practical life skills to follow and, again, reach that goal and life potential.
You know, I saw something. A former participant evidently had put a comment under there. It talks a little bit about what they went through and having come to your program, what a difference it made, and how now they are helping other people come through. Give us a little example of some of the issues, if you don't mind.
Sure, absolutely. And one of the missions of the program is to yield ourselves to God and to go out and share the good news with others. And so as each of us work through the program, we've learned to share our testimony and our story of how God has brought us through those challenges and helps us every day to live out the potential. And some of those things that different people go through are struggling with abuse. Others may have anger. Others with overworking tendencies.
Overworking?
Is that
a problem?
Apparently, that would be one of mine, is learning to set healthy boundaries and knowing not to overwork.
Healthy boundaries.
And others struggle with chemical dependency. And what we find is that all of those are behaviors that come from those who have hurts inside of them that they haven't dealt with and learned to receive forgiveness for. And what we try to share with others is that forgiveness is free to all, and it's just a matter of choosing to receive God's forgiveness and be able to, again, just live in that peace and freedom that is possible.
Now, we showed about your, what is the name of this song? A song.
New Song
New
Church.
Song. I just thought that was such an unusual name, but New Song. Would we have to say anything? Could we just come and sit and just be there?
Right.
Because most people are afraid, you know, that's a challenge for a lot of people, because you got a lot of introverts that need the service, but they don't want you to call on them. They don't want you to, you know what I'm saying?
Absolutely. Yeah. And we do try to set it up in a way that it's very safe when you come in, and you can slip in the door at 7 o'clock and go right into what we call a large group teaching time. We do worship music and then also teaching, or have someone share their testimony. And so you can come in and just keep to yourself. It's not a time when you need to speak or anything, and it's all by choice. And then at 8 o'clock, we offer small groups. And again, that's a place where you're going to break into groups for women and groups for men. And you can either share during that time or remain quiet and just listen. And it's all confidential. And again, it's working at the progress that is the pace you're ready to do, and not needing to speak up. You can be quiet the whole time.
Confidentiality is I'm glad you brought that up, because most people are concerned about that. But there's one, I can't think, Carl Rogers or somebody said that which is personal is common.
And
you know,
we all,
if you got the situation, somebody else got it too.
Absolutely.
That's what it is. You know, you're not alone, and that's probably one of the biggest part of what your program does, is let people know they're not alone.
Absolutely. It is so important to know that you're not alone, and for everybody to really come to understand that we are here together, and we all have made mistakes in our lives, and we all have had some form of a hurt in our lives, and it's just learning that there can be freedom through that, and just knowing God can give us that healing if we're willing to open ourselves up.
I've been hearing a lot about hurt people hurt, and I've come to learn that we tend to hurt ourselves first.
Absolutely.
Yeah, we tend to hurt ourselves first, and then we definitely hurt others when you hurt if you don't take care of it.
Exactly.
This sounds like a program that will help with that. Tell me how you got to select licensed clinical social worker as your field.
I have what I call quite a journey, and connect the dots with Jesus. And I actually, years ago, about 17 years ago, was a middle school teacher. And,
really? Middle school, that's enough to run you away from the thing.
No, and I love middle school. They're like young adults, just almost an adult, but not quite. Yeah. And in that process, really felt a calling from God to go into counseling and be able to help bring the Christian and biblical principles together with practical counseling skills. And so I went back to
school. That is unusual too.
And it's a blessing to be able to serve in that way. And so we offer that program at the church as well, and that way people can come for professional counseling, but it's also within the church, and so it's a way maybe to take that first step.
Is that where you do it all, or do you have a separate office? Is that where you work at the church?
I do. I have an office at the church, so I'm on staff there at New Song Church, and I get to serve during the week as a counselor, and then on Friday nights I get to celebrate with everybody at Celebrate Recovery.
Awesome. That's awesome.
Thank you.
That's awesome. How would what number can they call, or website or whatever? Tell how people can read to find out more, or how they can contact you.
Right. The best way to reach us is through our website at www.newsongumc.org, and that has all of our information about Celebrate Recovery and the counseling program there. Okay. And then our phone number is 804-559-6064. And we're also connected on social media, Facebook and Twitter as well.
Oh, awesome. So they could learn information on that.
Right.
All right. The new song is just as it sounds, S-O-N-G, and then it has UMC. Okay? Yes. This is really good information. There's a lot going on with everything that you mentioned that you all deal with, the abuse, whether it be physical, mental, the drugs, all of this. So the work, overworking, you know what I'm saying?
Absolutely.
Everything you mentioned, I'm sure there's somebody out there that's going through that. And about how far is this from here?
It's about 20 minutes from Richmond.
Okay.
So we're right about 20 minutes from multiple areas and right off of the interstate.
Oh, that's important.
That really helps.
Yeah, that's important. I think that it's a good program, and I am glad that you all wanted to advertise it to others, because some of these things are not available readily. And if they are, people, like you say, people don't know about it. There are services offered, but can't anybody go?
Right.
And if you all are welcome, no matter who it is, to come in to participate, this is a good thing.
Well, thank you.
This is a good thing.
And
okay, that website again?
That website again is www.newsongumc.org. And if I can just mention real quickly,
no, you don't have to be quick.
We are having an open house this Friday night at 7 p.m. And it's a great way to come and get connected and learn more about the program and get to hear some testimonies from participants and about how their lives have changed since being a part of the program. So we invite everyone to come and check us out on Friday, and look forward to celebrating with everybody.
Okay, and on the social media, it would be New Song UMC?
New Song UMC, and also we have CR_New Song UMC.
Okay.
For Twitter.
Okay. You say that again?
CR_New Song UMC.
Twitter.
On Twitter.
So you tweet too.
Yes.
Modern Church. Is any other information you want people to know? Friday night sounds like it's going to be pretty exciting.
We do have an exciting time on Fridays, and it's a wonderful way to end the week and start the weekend, and it's just a great place for families of all ages to come. We offer childcare free of charge, so it's a way for parents to not feel that pressure as well. And
no excuse.
No excuse.
That
not
is
at all.
Wonderful.
Thank you.
Yes, that is great.
We wanted to remove the excuses so that all families could grow together in a healthy way and develop healthy communication.
Yes. You know what I haven't mentioned with other guests, that we have our lines open, 804-915-5202. 915-5202. If people want to call in and ask questions, even the guests that are no longer they're in the studio, but if you have questions for other guests that have already been up here, you can call in, and y'all are in the studio. You have your buddy is out there. I'm glad y'all came tonight. I'm glad y'all came tonight. We are hoping that you will take advantage of this opportunity. And I still keep saying, if you can't use it and know somebody that can, let them know. Let them know.
Absolutely.
We are brother's keeper. Only when we don't keep it, we need to be keeping that better.
Yeah.
Need to be keeping that better. I say it's a way to pay it forward.
Absolutely.
You never know who going. If you got family of any sort, pay it forward because they're gonna need it if they keep living.
Absolutely.
And they keep on living. I'm telling you, you just keep. Things happen. Things happen. And this is such a good program. A lot of us have had problems with drug issues with children and stuff like that, and people talk about that every day. Whether it's, and now you see on the news where somebody is using stuff at the house. You can't hide all that stuff. You can't get rid of all of it, It's cinnamon,
Right.
So we need help. We need
Right.
help, but you can get help, and that's what you're all offering at your place.
Absolutely.
It's help. You're offering help, and this help is there the whole week too.
Yes.
Friday's free, and you can learn about the other services if you go to our website.
Right, absolutely.
But the help is out here. Help is out here, and they care so much that they email and ask, could they come on and share this? I know we're not shown all over the world, but we are in Richmond and Henrico and I think Hanover and Goochland, places of that nature. So, and there are people in each one of those places that need your services.
Right. We just welcome everybody.
That would be great.
Excited.
That's great. That's great. Is there anything else you want to share?
Again, just thank you so much for letting me come on tonight. And it's just a blessing to get to share about the program. And our hope is that everybody can know that peace and freedom that are available for everyone, and that it's okay to have gone through those difficult times, but God gives us an opportunity to be released from that pain and to just enjoy life and to live freely. Yeah,
live
absolutely.
freely. How many people, like I tell folks all the time, say, so many people in the world would love to have our problems.
Right, exactly.
Love that, and here we have somebody offering to help us with some of those problems.
Right.
Free help, support to do that.
Absolutely.
Heather, thank you so much for coming on.
Thank you, Shirley, to you.
And
So appreciate it.
Okay, one more time. Give that website and phone numbers.
www.newsongumc.org, and the phone number is 804-559-6064. And again, we look forward to seeing everybody.
Yep, and Friday night is a big night.
Friday nights at 7 p.m.
And this is, what do you call this Friday night?
This is our open house night, open house
often,
and testimony night.
Okay, how often do you have that?
We are going to offer that on the fourth Friday of each month. So it's a great way to come out, and again, a safe environment just to listen, check things out, and learn more about the program and how you can plug in.
Yeah, great. So fourth Friday.
Fourth Friday.
People can plan to do that.
Yes.
You have it every Friday, but you really have open house every fourth.
On that
great,
fourth.
Great. Thank you so much.
Thank
you so much. And you'll be
it.
You're in the studio, so if people have questions that they want to ask, 915-5202, they can call in.
Wonderful.
Okay.
Thank you again.
Okay. We're going to, our next guest is about to come on, and so just hang in there. We will be right back.
The sands upon the shore, more than the colors of the rainbow or the poet's metaphor, more constant than the movement of the ocean's ebb and flow, more than you can fathom. You are love more than you know. Our love, oh yeah, you.
Welcome back. We have another special guest in the studio, and I want to thank all my previous guests over the season, and really appreciate the guests that we have here tonight. Are any of you all in pain? Do your back hurt? Do your legs hurt? Do your shoulder hurt? Do you have pain? I was walking today and it was so tight. and that was because I hadn't stretched. But I can tell you, there's relief. I have 2 people, and Trace Adler is one of them, that I really have confidence in, but I found somebody else too that I've got confidence in. And I'm going to let him introduce himself.
My name is Clarke Tanner, owner of a physical therapy practice on the south side in the Boulders office complex near Chippenham Hospital. And it's a family-owned practice. My wife and I own it. She's also a physical therapist. And we specialize in orthopedic manual physical therapy, particularly spine care, and it's sort of a specialty niche practice. And,
niche.
That's what we do.
And I like it because one of the reasons I like you don't ask how old you are and then say you got arthritis. You know what I'm saying? You don't, he does not go by age. No. Oh, that's a wonderful, that's important to the women folk. You know that, don't you?
We like to hear people say arthritis because there's a lot you can do about that. Seriously.
That's what I'm talking about. A lot you can do about it because a lot of people are suffering. A lot of people are suffering, and working in the gym, I hear quite a bit. Oh. I hear quite a bit. Tell us how you got started.
Originally in physical therapy, I was lucky enough to sign up for a class that was called Prevention and Care of Athletic Injuries, and I thought it looked good, so I signed up for it. And one of the things we had to do was volunteer sort of in a sports medicine setting, and in that process I got to actually look at people with injuries and problems and had to figure out what was going on and figure out what needed to be done. And I really love that. So that got me down the road of eventually into rehab and volunteered in the PT clinic and loved it and decided that's what I wanted to do. So, and just kind of have never looked back really.
Yeah, being a master, tell us a little bit about that because we don't see that quite often. I don't think we pay attention to the acronyms when you go to the doctor's office, look up on. But right. talk about you being a master.
Right. Well, there's some things. I guess some credentials in terms of postgraduate training. You come out of regular PT school. It's a graduate level degree now. So you go through undergrad, then you go through graduate level. When I went through it, it was a master's level program. A few years ago, it transitioned to a doctor entry level. And essentially, you come out with a generalist degree to practice sort of just about anything. So you know a little bit about a lot of stuff. And then if you want to specialize and go into sort of orthopedic manual therapy, which is kind of the route I went, then there's a kind of a postgraduate curriculum that you go through, and you kind of go through that to learn your specialty, and essentially you pick up the skills to be able to evaluate things with a little more detail and maybe get to certain problems a little bit more quickly.
Yes.
And then actually how to effectively change it and use your hands to be able to do that, and amongst education and lots of different tools. So my route was a clinical. Postgraduate clinical certification through one of the programs in the country. I've been through several. So
what I like is that you're hands-on. You're hands-on, and also you give homework.
Yes, and we should be doing our homework.
Sometimes
this is good, sometimes it's not. So,
but that's like I have been places, and that hasn't been all that many years ago, where they put you in a room, tell you to sit in the room by yourself, and it just doesn't work like it. The human psyche just does not work like it, because we have discussed the thought and your attitude and all that stuff. Talk a little bit about it, because we both of us believe that matters for that healing.
Well, one of the things that's extremely important in terms of being successful and certainly in the rehab process and healing from an injury or managing an injury is thought process and attitude. And that I suppose that's sort of true of life in general.
Yes.
But to give you an example, there was an interesting study about 5 years ago where they looked at, like, the medical word for it was catastrophizing, meaning being worried about the condition that you have. Focusing on it, thinking about it, projecting it into the future in terms of what it would mean, like sort of being worrisome about it, so to speak. So that's catastrophizing. They found a couple things. One, they found that your cortisol level, which is a stress hormone, goes up. And then
makes it worse.
Yeah, and your inflammatory response is actually increased, and your pain level is increased. So in other words, your thought process and your worries about it either help you or hurt you. And
Did y'all hear
they
that?
found that link. And so,
oh yes.
so when we work with people, that's something that you have to talk about, and you try to educate and take some of the fear away. Understand, help them to understand their process and what's going on with them, so that hopefully you bring the anxiety level and the fear level down, and then try to help motivate them to sometimes make lifestyle changes and kind of work from there. I mean, definitely over the years what I have seen is one of the number one thing that truly matters is attitude, and whether you really believe you can get better. And the idea that something can actually physically help you. And then also, are you willing to put out some effort to make the change? Unfortunately, we don't sort of have the magic bullet, so to speak. You can't walk in and we do therapy to you, and then it's solved. That's just not how it works. It's an active process. I mean, we're right in there with you, using our hands in the trenches with you, trying to solve your problem. But you have to participate, and homework is one of them. Thought process, attitude is another. All of that sort of comes together to help the process. And then that's part of the fun part. That's sort of the art of what we do.
The art. I like that. So. You have a lot of little pieces of equipment that I think are a little bit different than some other people use too. Yeah,
I mean, our practice is maybe different from what is considered typical. It's somewhat simplified and stripped down a bit. We don't have a lot of equipment in our facility. It's really like foam rollers and exercise balls and some basic things, because we don't want you coming into our practice spending a lot of time on exercise equipment. That's not where our skill is. You can go to the gym for that. Our role is education, and our role is trying to teach you what you need to do to help your problem. And the things we try to teach are things that you can mimic at home very easily with bands and stuff that's actually purchasable, or even just you don't even need equipment. It's body weight, it's those sorts of things. And so, you need to be able to reproduce it at home. So that's what it is. It's just PT and the patient, and that's all that's there. And what we do is pretty personalized. I mean, I'm naturally biased, but I think that's the way the model should be. I think that's somewhat how it should be done. And I mean, it works. I mean, we've had good results and have had for a long time. So
because
it's fun. So
it's you can see it with your other patients. You also are aware of the patients.
Oh yeah.
As the book that we read in our last book club say, you hug your customer. And that's it matters. That matters. It's part of their attitude, your attitude too. And that I think that's a big difference. We were talking one day about perception, and if some people not having experience of having had a PT, a physical therapist, they don't know when you try to tell them something. Talk a little bit about that.
Just in terms of
just
like
generally,
in terms of the process, in terms of how it typically works, trying to solve a problem. Well, I mean, basically the way it works is someone comes in with a particular problem, whether it be arthritis or pain somewhere, back, neck, whatever it may be, and then they come in, and we try to get an idea of what they're feeling, what's happening, where their mindset is on certain things, and then we evaluate them, and we try to do a pretty thorough physical exam, trying to identify what sorts of things might be contributing to their problem, and what are the things that matter to them in terms of what they want to be able to do. And then we go about trying to set a plan to make whatever changes we would need to do to get them back to doing the things that they love doing. And many times it's trying to get rid of pain.
Pain, that is the key. Because I asked you the other day, could I run? And you looked at me.
I don't recommend that right now.
What was the word? Aggravate. I understood. You didn't have to say another word. Aggravate the situation. And that's what a lot of people do. They've been told for years, pain, no gain. And I'm saying that pain is the way the body tells you something is wrong. We tell you shut up. We take animals and say shut up.
You
know what I'm saying?
Yeah, exactly. It's a warning signal. And then the other part of that is sometimes it takes a level of patience, because in the beginning, sometimes you have to change someone's movement strategy, make change in the body, gain stability. There's a lot of things that sometimes need to happen before you can do the lower level things to get back to something that would be high level, like running. High level being running for sure.
Yes.
And so it doesn't mean you can't ever do it.
Yes.
Our job is to help you do the things that you want to do, and research shows it's better if you keep doing the things that you love to do for many reasons. But sometimes you have to kind of build that in steps.
And that makes sense. That makes sense. Yeah. And see, I think that in itself is encouraging, you know, like trying to get you back to doing what you want to do.
Sure.
That you don't get that all the time. You don't get that all the time. Just hearing that, it feels good. You know, it feels good. And I don't know why people don't understand that. I don't know why other areas don't understand that you sort of put the healing process in place with your words, you know.
Yeah, well, that's an important part of it.
Yeah. You tell us a little bit about yourself, because I hear you talking about bike rides and stuff like that.
Yeah.
So kind of give us you do more than physical therapy. You do physical stuff.
Right. Well, my athletic history was kind of a number of different sports, from football through college, and then even motorcycle racing, and even gymnastics.
Motorcycle racing.
Yeah. So what I do now is I do some bike racing. I'm on Richmond Velo Sport. And that's a cycling team in town that does road racing as well as off-road racing, and our bike shop is 3 Sports, and that's something that I've been a part of that team for a while.
Yeah,
and
3 Sports, I've been there, purchase shoes and stuff,
And we try hard to be competitive,
I wouldn't have
stay
thought
doing
that.
it. So. But it's fun, you know. That's something that I enjoy, and I'm trying to get our 5-year-old involved in.
That's
it too.
what I heard.
Yes,
the girls had always told me that. So that the little one does it also.
He rode his first BMX track last night.
Lord have mercy.
He did beautifully. Yeah, I was quite proud of him. So,
that is something. I have a friend on Facebook. Her son's name is Tanner.
There you go.
Tanner rides that. She puts videos on, and that's how I know about the BM, whatever the acronym is. But that's how I know about it, because she posts stuff about her son. Yeah. You said something interesting the other day when you were in Harrisonburg, and what you told me you saw up there. I mean, I know we didn't expect
I'm trying to remember what I saw.
The Amish.
Oh yeah, absolutely. My wife and I did a 50-mile kind of benefit ride a couple weeks ago, and during the course of the ride, it was a beautiful day, beautiful course, and we passed a number of buggies. So my assumption was that they were Amish, but what I have since found out that it has a high Mennonite population. So that was fun. And,
and that was Harrisonburg.
That was Harrisonburg,
Virginia.
Yeah. Early in the ride, we were passing the people in the buggies, and then towards the end of the ride, we were getting passed by the buggies.
That's what I thought was so funny. The buggies were passing.
That's what I told my wife. I'm like, I'm not used to this getting past stuff, Even on a casual ride, that's still not cool.
Yes, the buggies were passing. That is too funny. That is too funny. You all are located on South Side, and how many people do you have in your office?
There are 3 therapists, myself, my wife, and Ashley Walker, so 3 full-time therapists, and then there's 3 of us that are in the office staff, so 6 of us total. We're small practice, but
busy.
I think we do good work. Try our best to.
Yeah, it's so good that people refer folks to you.
That's our main. That's what keeps our doors open. Seriously, I mean, word of mouth from your family.
That matters.
Oh, it does.
If you want to know how good you're doing, that's what you pay attention to. I don't care what business you're in.
You're right.
You pay attention to what people are saying about you, and it matters. It really does matter. On your some of the things that you do in your office, you have people use, like lay on the ball.
And
body weight and stuff like that. Have you found that the body weight thing works pretty well in terms of people using their own body weight?
Oh, absolutely.
It's always a surprise.
You'd be surprised how many people have trouble with just their own body weight in terms of walking and things that are kind of everyday things. And so we're always working on that. And then you can do a lot in terms of gaining strength and control and all that with your own body weight. You don't need fancy equipment. You just don't. And it's amazing what you could do with just body weight and a couple bands, or even just nothing.
Nothing, yeah. Because the TRX stuff and all like that, and Pilates, I teach Pilates, and my thing is, when you do a class that your body is the equipment,
Yeah.
that the leg gets to be 500 pounds.
It doesn't mean easy, right? It doesn't mean easy.
Yeah, because I teach at some of the YMCA's, and I taught at Chester the other week, and there were soldiers. I didn't know until class was over. There were 3 men, and they came up and spoke and talked after I got through, and I found out they were soldiers.
Yeah.
Them boys had a rough time.
I bet, and I bet you put it on them too.
They had it rough. They were breathing hard. And they were making noise, and when people start to laugh, the laughter tells me something, because I tell them I've done that laugh before myself.
Yes, yeah.
Yes, indeed. But it's the core work that you often talk about.
Sure.
This core work. And the soldiers were saying they need that, because the exercises and stuff that people used to do. I don't know what they're doing now, but used to do in the service that I see them doing. It's not good for the body.
Right.
One man couldn't put his legs on the floor. He says he was like this. He couldn't straighten his leg out.
Yeah.
And he said that something was messing with his back, and that's good to have some evening classes or something. But it was really interesting to see those soldiers and how they responded to that floor work.
And it's interesting, and then sometimes you see big muscular people that are maybe not that mobile or not that good at core, even though they look very strong. So if you know what you're looking at and you know how to analyze it, you realize they're not.
They are
sometimes.
not.
Yeah.
They are not.
You're right.
You do the form, form check and stuff like this, and you constantly have to talk, because people pull on their head and stuff and you say, feel your body with your head weight in your hands and stuff. You know what I'm saying? We're just so there. What is it? Something recently I've been telling them about this physiology. Like, this is not coming up. You push yourself, that's not what the body. If you're coming up, that's not up.
Right.
So it's the physiology that we're going to have. Because people say, I can't do this, can't do it. Yes, you can. Yes, you can. And it makes a difference. But that was very interesting to have those young men in the class.
Yeah, I'm sure they have a different appreciation for what's difficult too. So,
I didn't say it this time, but I usually tell people, because I'm a little teeny bit larger than most instructors, just a smidgen. So I used to tell folks that my hips will not interfere with your workout.
Right. I like that. That's good.
I usually have to let them know. Good. And some of the, people say that they don't think that. They are really shocked, because I am an instructor. Yeah. I am an instructor, and like I teach. So and the whole thing is form. Where your body is matters. Yeah. And we always say that. And that's the same thing I get in your office. That where you are, the position, and how you walk, what all that tells you, gives you some messages about what needs to be worked on and stuff like that. That is something. That is something.
The thing I have to say about you is you have been very fun to work with, and I love your attitude.
I like that, Doc. Thank you. Thank you. It's been a joy to meet somebody that you can conversate with. It's nice to have things in common, and sort of for a young man, your experiences. You telling me about your ship stuff the other day and all like this. He has had some very interesting experiences and remembered, and he's. I just think your presence is a little different than a lot of folks. It's just refreshing.
Well,
and your whole office is your whole office is refreshing. People speak and talk and stuff. This sounds crazy, but it's what matters. Yeah. It's what matters. Yeah. It matters.
Well, and you get it, and you work hard. So
for real. Well, Doc, is there anything special that you want people to know about physical activity and services if they have a physical therapist? And just why is it important? Why is it important if you have pain? You don't have to have surgery. You should try physical therapy
absolutely.
first.
Look, I think the smart way to work through anything systematically is kind of lesser to greater. I would never consider any type of surgical intervention, although sometimes it's necessary for certain things, but you never try that first. Yes. You want to go through Sept. Try everything you can do conservatively to try to address it. And many times for us it comes down to things like lack of spine mobility, hip mobility, trunk strength, poor movement patterns, all those sorts of things. And if you work through those sorts of things, usually you can make a big difference in how you feel, and you hopefully never have to go through something surgical. Hope you don't. And the other part is try to do something about it early. Get it before it gets bad.
Yes.
And then a lot of times it's also how fit you are, and it determines how well you will do as time passes. And sometimes you have to back up and get everything working properly so you can handle activity. But then once you get that change, then a lot of times people really improve and do very well. And and I say be willing to work at it, come with a good attitude, believe you're going to get better, and work at it.
Because your flyers and stuff that says get back to pain-free, living as quickly as possible. I like that.
That's always the goal.
Yeah, because I see spine and the sports medicine. Now, do you work on a lot of athletes?
We do. We have a good mixture. We actually, we have our age population is from right now is 7 years old to 89.
Really, 7?
7 to you just had one the other day. So it's a good mixture of things. And we see a lot of different things. Specialize in a lot of different. That's part of the fun. I mean, that's part of the fun. You get to work with a bunch of different things, and athletes. Yes, absolutely. We work athletes quite a bit. We work with a lot of runners, cyclists, you name it, across the board, from 20 years old, collegiate level, to all the way through somebody who's a master's athlete and wants to stay active, and now they're fighting some wear and tear issues, and they want to stay doing this stuff. They still want to be competitive, and they still have that drive, and that's one of our favorite type of person to work with. I mean, it's just fun. Keep them out there and fix them as best you can. Get it working as best you can, and kick them back out there. That's the goal.
I know that's right, because the baby boomers do not want to stop.
No, and nor should you.
The baby boomers do not want to stop. Now, Doc, I appreciate you coming. I called him Doc. I can't help it. I can't help but call you Doc. But I appreciate you coming tonight. Because I know you worked all the week and tired and stuff like this, but it's wonderful. I appreciate the information, and I know that our viewers appreciate it. And how can they get in touch with you if they're interested in getting services?
Absolutely. If you want to learn more about us specifically, the best way is probably on our website at optimalsolutionspt.com. And then if you want to talk to one of us, call us, 804-320-2220, and we've got a great group, and we're happy to help however we can.
Get that website again?
Website is optimalsolutionspt.com.
And Optimal is spelled O-P-T-I-M-A-L.
Yes.
Okay.
Yes.
Yes, indeed. We have a few more minutes, and if anybody, we had a call. I thought he said a while ago, but we haven't gotten it transferred in. But I think that people should not go through pain as long as they do.
I agree.
And I know women do that, put up with pain. Because when people ask you, how long that's been going on? Oh, 2 or 3 years. You know what I'm saying? And either I don't know.
20. I had 20 years. Wow. Yeah, seriously. But you know what? It doesn't. It's better to get it early, but it doesn't mean because it's been there a long time you can't get rid of it. I mean, you can still be successful.
That's what I think is important.
I'll tell you one study that might reinforce what we're talking about. Took a group of runners with significant arthritic changes in their knees. One group stopped running, the other group continued running, and they tracked them over time. And the people that actually did better, which when you think would be the people that continued running, they had better mobility, they were stronger, they were more fit, and they had a much higher satisfaction with life in general and a much lower depression rate. The group that stopped, more pain, less function, they did worse over time. And you would think that the more active with the arthritic stuff would matter, but that's not the case.
That's not the case.
Keep it moving.
Keep it moving. I know that because I feel that when I don't move. I know that's true. Well, Doc, thank you so much for coming.
Thank you.
I appreciate it.